Hey, what's up, y'all? Today we're going to discuss this video that was published by the infamous Cynthia G. And yes, I said it right there in my title that Cynthia G cannot read. Now, what do I mean when I say Cynthia G cannot read? Well, I mean that Cynthia G can recite words. Yes, she recites them beautifully, but it doesn't mean that she necessarily comprehends the words that she recited. Yes, I said it, and I'm gonna prove it with her own video. This video titled "Black Men Are the Cleanup Crew for the White Zaddy's Mess at the Capitol." So I'm gonna prove to you that Cynthia G cannot read. Alright? Now please note that my intent is not to make fun of her. I am not calling her stupid nor dumb. I'm just pointing out the fact that she has issues comprehending the words that she recites. Alright, that's all I'm trying to point out. Now, fair use, fair use. Let's get to it. Let me stop right here. Hey Cynthia G, your music is hot. I do like your intro. Alright, now let's keep going.
Like because of the scarcity.
If you grow up as a white girl,
yes,
and you get attention from black guys,
yes,
in my experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. Yeah.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
Hey, my man right there is looking butthurt. Man, if I was him, I'd have told her, look, you know, so I'm a black man, right? So obviously the status you get from me is not good enough, right? From your own words, I'd have told her to get the fuck out of my car. I would have made it very clear. You know what I'm saying? Either you get out of my car or you give me all the glory. Again, if I'm your man, I'm driving you around, I'm feeding you, I'm taking care of you, I'm doing all of that, you give me all the glory. That's what it is with me. Let's move on.
Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and talk about this CNN article that was sent to me by a subscriber, and the title of it says "The Jarring Revealing Video of Black Men Cleaning Up the Capitol." And so
let's stop right here. All right, she just gave us the title of this article. I actually have the article up right here. The article is "The Jarring Revealing Video of Black Men Cleaning Up the Capitol." Exactly what she recited, right? All right, this is the article. It was published by CNN. All right, and what you see on her video right now, this is the view right here. That's the equivalent. All right, let's keep going.
So this is what I want to discuss. I first want to say thank you to everyone who sends me content. If you want to support the content on this channel, you can do so by emailing me. My email address is in the description box and pinned to the comment section if you haven't done so already.
Yes, please, y'all. Please support the channel. Please support my channel also. Please email my video to her so she can see that I said that Cynthia G, right, you cannot read. All right. Please send this video to her. Let's keep going.
And you like the content, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. When you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know every time I upload content, and when I go live. Y'all know YouTube be tripping with these notifications. But anyway, so you have this article where it's talking about black men cleaning up the Capitol. And for those of you who don't know, on the 6th of this month, there was a group of people of no color who decided to go to the Capitol building and engage in extreme degeneracy, cause chaos, destroy property, and rub feces and urine all over the walls. So they really went back to their uncivilized cave ways with this one. We do know there was also an incident that was going viral of a black woman who was allegedly accosted outside of the protest, and this was linked to the so-called Proud Boys. Since then, this has been discussed heavily. It's been covered by all mainstream media, and it appears that black men have decided to go into the Capitol building and clean up the messes that people of no color made.
Now, right here, right, Cynthia G is letting you all know that she believes that these men just decided out of the blue to go inside of the U.S. Capitol to just clean the building, right? Now this is the foundation of what she's saying. This is what she's laying out there for you to believe, okay? This is what she interpreted from this story. All right, just keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
Primarily men of no color. And so I want to read some of this article, and then we'll get into a discussion about the pathology of this, because this is really interesting to me. But it says the image is jarring because it's a scene so commonplace, so normal. A few black men are seen in the video sweeping and vacuuming in the Capitol building to undo some of the damage caused by the mostly people of no color mob trying to overturn an election because their preferred candidate lost. Given this country's racial history, it's difficult or near impossible not to see those decades-deep racial connections. There's something else too, though, an abiding dignity in the work the men are doing. An illustration of their importance to the health of this country, just the latest example of how black Americans remain steadfast throughout our history, come what may. Let me tell you something about this last statement here, where it says just the latest example of how black Americans remain steadfast throughout our history, come what may. This is why they're promoting this, because I told you guys there's an agenda behind everything that the mainstream media promotes. This isn't an attempt to glorify black men and change the narrative from them being the so-called predators out inflicting nothing but degeneracy.
Come on, y'all. All right, I'll clear that in a second. Now, no, in my opinion, this entire, hold up, let me skip this ad, y'all.
See on the world.
No, my opinion is that this article was put out to facilitate sorrow and pity, right, from the white liberals. This is my belief. All right, I don't believe that this is any attempt to make us seem like we're not degenerate as a group of men, because everyone knows that there's an element of us that are degenerate, right? This is an attempt by a black man who wrote this article to seek sorrow and pity from white liberals. That's what I get from this. All right, now let's keep going.
Being the only group of men who don't provide anything or build anything, or who had no contribution to civilization except degeneracy, this is an attempt to maintain the status quo. This is an attempt to show black men in a very passive manner, because keep in mind, it was people of no color who went in and done the damage to the Capitol, and it should be people of no color who are cleaning up that damage to the Capitol.
Now, what Cynthia G is saying right here is just utterly ridiculous. You know, black men have contributed a lot to civilization, and I'm just going to deal with American history. I mean, we have been represented throughout American history many times over, from Crispus Attucks, that was the first person that was killed in the Revolutionary War, to Bass Reeves, Thurgood Marshall. Even present day, you have Barack Obama, Clarence Thomas, and all of us in between. So what she's saying is just idiotic, man. All right, let's keep going.
Yet you have CNN promoting black male passivity like they always do, and trying to decorate it by saying, look at black men who are steadfast.
Black male passivity. Yeah, some black men are passive. But again, this is an attempt by CNN, right, along with their black male writer, Isaac Bailey, to seek sorrow and pity from white liberals. That's what this is. Let's keep going.
as throughout our history, no matter what happens. This is reminiscent of an old slave hymn where you have black people sitting up talking about how they're just going to endure. And that's why CNN is promoting this, because they're saying no matter what happens in this country, no matter how poorly we treat them, they're always going to come through cleaning up our messes and being our pets for society.
Let me stop right there. Now, if that is what CNN is saying, right, what Cynthia G just said, then I would have to say that's the 88% of black men that voted for Joe Biden administration. That's what I would have to say. Those are your black liberals, your black Democrats, the woke, the woke progressives, all of them, defund the police, BLM, those types. Those are the ones that she's referring to right here. You're definitely not referring to black men such as myself. All right. Now let's keep going.
Meanwhile, you can't even get black men to engage in a productive discussion about what they're going to do to clean up their own communities. So we know that they're not doing this because this is what black men do. We know they're doing it because it paints a certain narrative about black male passivity. So it says it feels wrong that they had to pick up the pieces from a failed insurrection attempt that, had it been successful, would have disenfranchised millions of voters, particularly those in areas with heavy black populations.
I don't understand what this gentleman Isaac Bailey is talking about. What does he mean it feels wrong that they have to clean up after these people? These guys that you see, right? This brother that you see in this photo, in her video, he's a black maintenance worker. These black men that she's referring to, they're black maintenance workers at the U.S. Capitol. These men are getting paid to do their job. All right? And I'm going to prove that to you. We're getting there. Now let's keep going.
So they're saying even though black men know this society doesn't like them and is disenfranchising them, and they're always complaining about how this system and people of no color within it are stopping them from being productive members and stopping them from providing for their family, they're still willing to come in here and clean up the messes of the very same people that, had they been successful, would have continued to disenfranchise black men.
Again, these guys that are cleaning up, it is their job. They are a maintenance crew. It's just so happened that they're black men, okay? It's their job to clean up. These men get paid to clean up the U.S. Capitol. Now, again, I'm going to prove this to you as we go on. Now, let's keep going.
This doesn't make black men look good. What they basically could have just said is that, oh, black men still have a slave pathology, therefore they're out.
See, what Cynthia G said right here is just unintelligent, y'all. I'm telling you, this woman is mentally disturbed when it comes to black men. Her opinion of us, man. Seriously, all black men are not the same. We are not a monolith, But anywho, like I said, what she's saying right here is unintelligent because, again, these guys are black maintenance workers. They're getting paid to clean up. All right. Now, I'm going to prove this to you all. Again, like I said from the title, Cynthia G cannot read. I'm going to prove to you that she can recite words beautifully, right? But it doesn't mean that she comprehends the meaning of the words that she's reciting. Now, let's keep going.
Out there cleaning up the messes of people of no color like they've been doing since they've been in this country. You can look all throughout the history of this country and seeing black men engaging in the same behavior. Whenever you ask them what have they done to fight for their own liberation, the only thing they mention is these wars that they've been forced to fight in for the betterment of people of no color, specifically the men who run this country. So really, to me, this is just another example of how that pathology that black men have always had is still there. It said it not only feels wrong, but it is wrong. It shouldn't be this way. In the democracy we all supposedly love and cherish, the race.
Let me say this. Let me just plug this in. First of all, our country is not a democracy. The United States of America is a republic. All right. It is not a democracy. Now, We cover stuff like that on my other channel, which is the Power of Offense with Keith and Rodney. We cover things like that, and I will put a link in this video so that you can check out our other channel. But again, this country is not even a democracy. So Isaac Bailey, like so many others, are wrong when they say that. All right, and I'm gonna prove that to you all. Now let's keep it moving.
Ratio and income and power inequalities evident in this video shouldn't exist. But no, people don't recognize that, because if all of society felt like the ratio and income and power inequalities shouldn't exist, then they wouldn't exist. But the bottom line of it is knowing the state of black men, it's always going to exist, because black men engage in behavior that shows that whether it's a subconscious or conscious level, they believe that their primary job is to be of service to men of no color. This is why they have no problem not owning anything.
That is some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Cynthia G, you have some issues, woman. That is some bullshit. Everything you're saying right here is totally unintelligent, and it has nothing to do with this article. Again, these men are black maintenance workers. They work at the U.S. Capitol. They are getting paid. All right, they receive remuneration from the work that they do. All right, now let's keep going.
They will willingly be on sports teams where they're mostly the talent, but they own nothing. They're not the coaches. They're not the owners. They don't get to speak the way that they want to.
What are you talking about? These guys speak the way that they want to all the time. Obviously, you do not watch sports commentary. All right. Not only do these guys get to speak out, right, all of these black men that play professional sports, right, but they even have the leagues, right, putting woke messages on their jerseys. They even have the league putting woke messages like Black Lives Matter on the basketball court as well as the football field. Come on now. What you're saying is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It is extremely unintelligent. But let's keep going.
Are fine in a society where they can just make excuses and say, oh, well, Dwight man is stopping us from building. Dwight man is stopping us from
Hold up. I'm not gonna lie, this is hilarious. Now I will say, Cynthia G, you have some awesome I would say your videos are very entertaining. I'll say that. All right, this is funny.
They're comfortable with that. And that's why you can see an article talking about how they're also comfortable going in and cleaning up men of no color's mess.
The white man. That is hilarious. But again, it's still idiotic in the sense that it's only a segment of black men that say that. It's not all of us. And the ones that say that typically are the ones that you hang out with, Cynthia G. You know, the red, black, and greens, the woke ones. Those are the ones that you tend to hang out with that say stuff like that. Not black men like me. All right, now let's keep going.
Because that is what they've been doing since they've been in this country. We should never see any article about them cleaning up the Capitol building when they don't even.
I'm an endocrinologist, and none of them could get my blood sugar below 3.
People want to clean up their own neighborhoods and make them safer for the women and children who resides in them. We hear all on these social media streets.
Again, what Cynthia G is saying, y'all, is just totally idiotic and unintelligent. Why am I saying this? Because she's wrong when she makes it seem like these men are just cleaning up just because they feel the need to clean the Capitol. These men are paid workers. They are a maintenance team. It just so happened that it comprises of black men. Okay, now we're going to get to this. I'm going to prove to you what I'm saying. All right, now let's keep going.
Them talking about they're not the cleanup man, but you are the cleanup man when it comes to men of no color. You just don't want to be the cleanup man when it comes to people who look like you. That's the problem. It says black people have always been forced into a kind of Sophie's choice to love a place that has for too long hated us while knowing that's what's best for us nevertheless. So that's best for us to continue to be the pets of people within this system. There's a black man writing this for sure.
Now again, yeah, it's a black man writing this. Now the black man writing this, Isaac Bailey, Yeah, he may like being a pet to white people, like white liberals. But a lot of us, no, that's not how we feel. That's not all black men, Cynthia G. All right. Now, to prove what I mean about Mr. Issac Bailey, right? I've done a little bit of research on him, and I found this little write-up about him. Now, Issac Bailey is a journalist, right? And if I'm not mistaken, he's also a professor at Davidson University, right? Yeah, I think it is Davidson University. Now, Issac Bailey is an author of things like Why Didn't We Riot? A Black Man in Trump Land. I mean, he talks as if all black men do not like President Trump. Now, you have some black men such as myself who are Trump fans. I voted for Trump. 12% of us, of the population, 12% of black men voted for Trump, right? Obviously, he's on the other side. He's a part of the 88% of black liberals, right, that wants white people or the white man to pat him on the head. Again, why am I saying this? Because, again, this brother put out things like My Brother Moochie, regaining dignity in the face of crime, poverty, and racism in the American South. I mean, it's obvious whose side he's on. You know what I'm saying? This man has contributed to Politico, CNN.com, Times, and the Washington Post. Those are all liberal publications, So it's expected that he would write something of which you're reading, Cynthia G. But again, this is not all black men, all right? Now let's keep going.
I'll tell you already there's a black man writing this. And it is. Issac Bailey is a black man. You see the image here where he's writing this, condoning this. That's why it reads as a slave-minded narrative, because
again, yes, slave-minded narrative. Yes, he's writing this, a black man, right? Should we say a black liberal, a black Democrat? Let's say that. He's a part of the 88% that obviously voted for Joe Biden. Let's say that. Yes, he wrote this. Yes, he's passive. I agree with you. I agree with you as far as how this was written, But be specific. It's not all black men.
This being written by a slave-minded man. It says, I don't want to read too much into the motivations of those men. Maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yeah, because it's black men's jobs to come in and clean up the messes of men of no color.
Now you hear that, right? You hear that? Yes, it's those black men's jobs to clean up the messes of those white men of no color, right? Who trashed the U.S. Capitol. Yes, it's their job. They're getting paid for that, Cynthia G.
Still, their presence in that place at that moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. Whatever the reasons they were there, black people cleaning up after a white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering that nooses were among the things that rioters were carrying, as well as Confederate flags. This man said this is a powerful image. Does this not tell you the mindset of black men? The fact that you think it's a powerful image, not for you to engage in ownership, not for you to praise and uplift the women and children of your community, not for you to...
Let me stop right here. To me, this image is not powerful. And what the man Issac Bailey is saying right here is some bullshit. And I'm going to point this out. Now, let me go straight to his article, right? Now, the part that Cynthia G just read, right, is right here. And I'm going to highlight it for you. It's right here. And this is what Issac Bailey wrote. He said, I don't want to read too much into the motivations of those men. Now, I want to read into the motivations of those men, and I'm explaining to you why in a second. Then he goes on and he says, maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Still, their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. So right there, he's making it clear that these guys are on work duty, right? They simply felt they had to do their jobs. Now, he goes on and he says, whatever the reason they were there, sorry about that, whatever the reason, yeah, they were there. Of course, we know why they were there. They were there working, Issac Bailey. Black people cleaning up after white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering the nooses were among the things the rioters were carrying and the Confederate flag paraded through the chamber. Now again, that noose, right, those nooses they referring to, those were for the politicians. That had nothing to do with black people. All right, those nooses and that Confederate flag, right, was for those politicians. This is a political issue. This isn't a race issue. This is one thing that irritates me about you black liberals, man. You know, and even the white ones. You always try to turn political issues into something racial. This is a political issue. This is not racial. All right. They were there protesting, right? It was a riot at the Capitol. They rushed the Capitol. They had nooses and Confederate flags. That was for the politicians inside of the Capitol. Now, Isaac Bailey made it very clear, right, when he said that maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yes, of course they felt they had to do their jobs because they're getting paid to do their jobs, right? Then he goes on and he says, still their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. No, it really didn't. It was just work duty, Isaac Bailey. Those guys were motivated. Since you say you don't want to read too much into their motivations, well, I do. They were motivated to do their work because they receive a check. The motivation for them to do their job is their check. They don't want to be fired. That's simply all it was. These black men were working. All right. Now I'm going to prove to you all what I'm saying by going to another source. All right. Now, the source that we're going to take a look at right here is Newsweek. And we're going to read this article by Newsweek about the same thing that we just discussed in Cynthia G's video. It says video of black Capitol workers cleaning up after mob mayhem goes viral. All right. Now, let's scroll down. And it says footage of black maintenance workers cleaning up the Capitol after yesterday's attack by pro-Donald Trump supporters trying to overturn the election result have sparked anger, sadness, and frustration online. Now, again, these are black maintenance workers. A clip of staff at work cleaning up the building following the riots, which saw a number of people enter the House chamber, has been viewed more than 6 million times on Twitter at the time of publishing. It says Daniela Diaz of CNN posted the clip with the caption, in quotes, the same House chamber doors where the armed standoff took place hours ago is being cleaned for members to return for the joint session. All right. And this right here is the tweet that Daniela Diaz tweeted. And it shows the black maintenance worker. You see him. All right. Now that's the same. That right there is the same two guys that's in the photo that's in the CNN article, right? The same CNN article that Cynthia G is reading from. Now, it goes on and it says, the footage has since been circulating as Twitter users share their disgust at the image of African American staff cleaning up after a group of rioters with noted ties to white supremacy. Keenan Austin Reed, a founder of the Black Women's Congressional Alliance, said the footage, in quotes, almost more than a heart can take. The image of the black Capitol workers cleaning up behind white supremacist thugs who attempted a coup just a couple of hours ago is almost more than a heart can take, Austin Reed tweeted. All right. You can see her tweet. Now let's keep going. Black maintenance staff. Now this is in quote. Black maintenance staff who were likely forced to hide during insurrection are cleaning up the mess of a white mob that hung a noose outside the Capitol, said Sawyer Hatchett. Now that's the senior advisor and communications director to Julian Castro. All right. And right here, Christine Pelosi, which is the daughter of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, added, in quotes, that black workers cleaning up after white seditionists who were escorted out of the Capitol encapsulates Trumpism in a nutshell. Great thanks to all of the Capitol building staff whose lives were at risk for COVID and conflict today. Again, these guys are part of the staff. They are maintenance workers. These guys get paid. And obviously, Cynthia G do not know anything about the U.S. Capitol, because if she did, she would know that can't nobody just walk in there and decide to assist in cleaning up. No, they have people that do things like that. All right. They have hired maintenance workers. All right. Now, again, this is why I'm saying Cynthia G can't read. She can recite these words beautifully, and she did. She recited the words beautifully. But again, right here in the article that she read, right? And I'm going to highlight it again, but I'm going to highlight it from here, right? Issac Bailey stated, maybe they simply felt they had to do their jobs. Yes, they had to do their jobs. Why? Because they're being paid to clean up. They're maintenance workers. They just so happen to be black. Then he goes on and says, still, their presence in that place at the moment signifies something deeper than just work duty. So again, he is saying that they're on work duty, Cynthia G. Yes, he is. Now, whatever the reason they were there, right? Now, right here, you know, that's all propaganda why he's saying that. You know, black people cleaning up after a white mob trying to undermine democracy is a powerful image, especially considering that the nooses were among the things the rioters were carrying, and the Confederate flag paraded through the chambers. Okay. You know, again, the noose and the Confederate flag and all of that was for the politicians. It had nothing to do with the black maintenance workers. I tell you, man, these liberals, man, they are idiots in my book. They are, man. They try to turn everything into a racial issue, and everything is not racial. This is a political issue. You know, just like Issac Bailey stated that he did not want to read too much into the motivations of these men. Why? Why? Because if you read into the motivations of these men, then that photo that was taken, right? That photo, where's the photo at? Where's that photo? Let me just go back to Cynthia's video. That photo that was taken right there, right, of these men, right, wouldn't mean much if you look into, or if you read into the motivations of the black maintenance worker that's cleaning up. It wouldn't mean much because you would have to acknowledge that he has to clean up for him to receive a paycheck. So his motivation to be there to clean that mess up is for him to keep his job and get paid. All right. Now let's keep going.
Build up your own communities, own your athleticism, funnel wealth into your own communities, show with pride that you are dedicated to the women and children in your community. It's a powerful image for you to be cleaning up the mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work,
boom. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. Shall we? Yeah, let's go back a little bit. Let's hear that again.
A mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work, they can.
Boom. Cynthia G just proved everything that I'm saying. She believed that these men were doing charitable work. She believed that they were there for charity. That's not why these black maintenance men were there. No, they were there cleaning up the Capitol because that is their job. This is what they do day in and day out. They clean the building. It just so happened these maintenance workers are black. That's all. This is why Issac Bailey didn't want to read too deep into their motivations. This is why he's trying to say the image is so important. But see, he don't want to talk about their motivations, because what happens if you talk about the motivations behind these men cleaning up, right? The true motivations behind them cleaning up, which is that it's their job to clean up and they receive a paycheck, remuneration for cleaning up. Then it removes all of this pity and sorrow that he's seeking from white America, specifically from white liberals, about these men having to do their job. That's all it is. This entire article is propaganda. That's all it is. It's bullshit. It's nothing significant here. These men are just simply doing their job. And you got Issac Bailey that's seeking pity and sorrow. And you have Cynthia G who's reading this article and could not comprehend that Issac Bailey was stating that these men were on work duty, that these men were doing their jobs, right? But they shouldn't have to, because they're black and they're cleaning up a mess from a white mob of racists who were supporting Trump, right? They make it seem like all white people that support Trump are racist, It's just all propaganda, y'all. That's all it is. Now, again, I want to hear that again. I'm going to go back a little bit more. I want to hear that again.
It's a powerful image for you to be cleaning up the mess of men of no color who don't like you. This is their psychology, and this is why I talk about their psychology. And listen, if they want to go in and do charitable work, they can do that.
Boom. Need I say more? Cynthia G cannot read. What do I mean when I say she cannot read? She can recite the words beautifully. Yes, she can. But obviously she do not comprehend the words that she recite, because if she did, she would have interpreted from what Issac Bailey wrote that these men were black maintenance workers who were on work duty doing their jobs. But of course, like most black people, right? Because most black people can't read, they always fall for the propaganda. Right? Yeah. Now let me give you this definition of read, because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. Now I pulled this definition from Google. I just typed in define read. To read is to look at and comprehend the meaning of written or printed matter by mentally interpreting the characters or symbols of which it is composed. Again, I'm saying that she can't read because she doesn't comprehend what she's reading. That she can recite it, she could say it to you, but obviously she do not comprehend everything that she has read or everything that she has recited. Okay, now let's go back. I'm ready to finish this up.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with black men choosing to do charitable work.
Boom. Charitable work. It's no charity. These men are getting paid. See, she always want to make it seem like black men are weak. Black men just kiss up to white people and white men. No, these men are doing their fucking job. That's what they're doing, and that's what I appreciate about these men, doing their job, not getting caught up in the racial aspect of all of this BS that these liberals come up with. Obviously, these black maintenance workers were not worried about whatever alleged racism. They don't care about that shit. They're there to do their job, clean up the Capitol, keep it nice and clean so that they can get their pension and retire and have an excellent retirement that most federal workers, or shall I say government workers, receive. How do I know? Because I have a lot of federal workers in my family. All right, now let's keep moving.
However, where is the charitable work within their community? Where is the charitable work towards the children who don't have fathers in their community?
And I'm going to stop right there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move off of this video after I say this, because I'm pretty much done talking about this. But Cynthia G want to sit there and say, well, where are black men's charitable work when it comes to their community, right? To the community, as my man Obsidian loved to say, right? Well, guess what? There's much charitable work that black men do in the community. Have you ever heard of Boys and Girls Club? Right? All those black men coaches. Not only do they coach the boys, but a lot of them coach the girls too. These men do it day in, day out. They don't receive any type of pay, any type of remuneration for coaching these children. They do it out of the love of their heart. You know how many black boys were saved from these men coaching them? They were saved from the streets. That's charity right there. That's charitable work. All right. You even have some that participate in these after school programs. We have one here in the District of Columbia. I can't think of the name I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you actually have many black men, even black women, that donate their time, right, to help these children with their schoolwork. All right. So I don't want to hear this bullshit that we don't give charity as a group to the black community. That is bullshit. And it is definitely bullshit that these men were in there cleaning up the U.S. Capitol, right, as charity. Again, you don't know what you're talking about, Cynthia G. You should tone it down sometimes, young lady. You really should. All right, because again, I just proven that you have problems reading. Yes, I said it, and I say it again. You can't read, and that's fine. You get better with practice. You just need to practice more. You need to read it over and over again to make sure that you comprehend the words that you read. I do it. I think all good readers to do that. Okay? I don't just read things one time. I tend to read things, I would say, at least 3 times. To make sure that I actually comprehended everything that was there. So again, these guys, right? These black maintenance workers were on work duty. They were getting paid. They received remuneration for cleaning up the U.S. Capitol. That's what it is, y'all. So again, I'll see you next time. Oh, and before I leave, I'm going to give you a thumbs down, Cynthia G. Yeah, thumbs down. You see it? Now, I'm giving you a thumbs down, not because I don't like you. I actually do like you, and I think that your material is entertaining. I find it funny. I do. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that you have a voice that should be heard. All of us do. See, I believe in freedom of speech, right? Now, I might not agree with your rhetoric, but I definitely believe in freedom of speech. So I believe your voice should be heard. Now, I'm giving you a thumbs down because you, right, did not read that article properly. That's why I'm giving you a thumbs down. So you added to the propaganda that Isaac Bailey is putting out there. You added to the propaganda to make black men look even worse. So I give you a thumbs down for that. All right. Now, peace. I'm out. Please share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.